Are we live?
Oh, yes, we are
Cat.
live. So it'll show me when people come onto it.
Okay.
So,
So if anybody is to join us right now, we're just waiting for other people to join in, and we're all going to play Rolling Realms version 3 all together.
alright, it is officially 2:30. Mention if you want part of playing this at a later date, you will need to download the game and print out a sheet for each player. Was it yummy? I'm glad. Alright, your parents have joined.
Eric said that they did have to hit refresh.
So too. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, we definitely want to wait for the declays. They're the ones that are technically set up for this time, so. So if you need to call them, go ahead. Oh, Jonathan declays on. So we're good. I mean, Sarah didn't say if she was going to be coming on at all, so.
All right, everybody. I don't know who else is going to join us, but this is our second try high. For anybody else tuning into this on a later date, this is currently just a live stream of us playing Rolling Realms. This is version 3. Degmeyer has been playtesting these, and he put these up for free to people to try out. He has been trying them out on his site, and we thought we would give him a shot too, since it was kind of fun just playing with him live the other day. So I'll explain the rules really quick, and then we'll just jump into it. So if you have your sheets, what we did is we laminated these. But if you have a simple like plastic slider sheet, or if you have a binder that has kind of like the see-through plastic front, you could do what we do and just use dry erase markers and reuse the same board over and over. Otherwise, you can just print off a sheet and fill it in with marker, crayon, pencil, whatever you have around, and then just print off new sheets when you need them. Okay.
Yeah, just mention about the comments. Griffin, stop.
So if you have any comments, if you have any questions as we start playing, Michelle is going to be answering comments on the Facebook feed. So you can just drop a comment into it, and between her or a screaming little one, we can figure out the answer for it, or I'll just answer the question as we have questions. Okay, so when we play this, before we play them horizontally, when you guys, if you want to play this at home as a family, what you do is you pick out 3 different realms. Oops. You pick out 3 different realms as your first realm to play in. Then you're going to pick out 3 new ones for your second one and 3 new ones for your third. And you would just mark the number right here in these little circles if you're going to play in one. For the sake of just making this easy for teaching, we are going to play it this time in columns. And so we're going to treat this as the first part of the game. We're going to play through this entire column. Then we're going to play through this entire column. And then this entire column. A few things to talk about. Down here are resources you're going to get. All of us have found kind of different ways to keep track of our resources. But as the game goes on, you're going to get resources. What I tend to do is just put a little check right here. And then later, when I use it, I make it an X. That's how I keep track of my resources as to what I'm getting. If you look on the side here, it walks you through the different things these resources can be used for. So using pumpkins allows you to change a dice one or up one or down one. Using 3 pumpkins allows you to adjust a dice to any number. And so those just allow you to manipulate the dice number itself. The hearts are going to allow you to use additional dice every round. So in the game, obviously, we are playing with dice. We're only playing with 2 dice, and you have 3 different realms you can fill those dice in for. And doing the heart functions is one way to be able to place a 3rd dice on a turn. So you can just kind of, it'll make sense as we start walking through and playing them. I just want you guys to be aware that these things exist. The money symbols, one gets you a bonus when 7 is rolled. Otherwise, you can pay any number of coins to buy that other number. So if you had 1 coin, you could check that off and use another 1 dice, level 1 dice somewhere. If you had 4 coins, you could turn that into a dice of a value of 4. Things like that. That's how basically this part works. So what we're going to start with is the very first column. So I'll walk through each of these. Every turn is going to be exactly the same. I'm going to roll these dice with the little dice roller. We're going to get some. In this case, it'd be a 1 and a 2. What you do is you would write a 1 and a 2 in this section right here. And you're going to use the 1 and 2 somewhere in this area. And technically, how the rule works, unless if some of these have slightly different rule changes, but for the most part, every box works the same. You can only place 1 dice in each box per round. So you could put the 1 here, and you could then put the 4 down here, or the 4 here. But we're only looking at these ones right now. Okay, so for Tapestry, this is kind of like Tetris. You're going to be putting together a puzzle. The white dots, or these black dots, they're already filled in. They're kind of obstacles for you to get around. But otherwise, you are going to be placing these little Tetris pieces. And you can turn them, you can spin them around any direction you need to be able to fill in. You can fill in the square really nice. Michelle usually is very clean and fills them all in. I tend to just do little X's. So in this case, a 1 and a 2, you could fill in a 1 here, or 2 somewhere. We'll walk through our turns as we go along. But as you fill up these squares, so let's just say I had this entire box filled up. Well, every time you fill a large box, you get 1 heart. So you just mark it down here, you got a heart. Now, every time you have done a really good job, and you filled in an entire column or entire row, you are also, on top of getting the hearts that you should get, you're also going to get 1 star. And that's how you're going to win the game. The person with the most stars at the end of the game wins. All right, so that's how you're going to get stars in Tapestry. And from now on, I'm just going to explain the basic resource that you're going to get and how you're going to attain those stars. And so with Scythe, how this one works, it's one that breaks the rules slightly. You can use 2 dice on 1 turn in the same box, meaning you can either choose, if you were to roll, let's say this was a 4 and a 1 that we rolled. You could either just put a 4 here and put a 4 in this one or this one, or a 1 in this one or this one. Or you could use the 1 and the 4 because they match each other. They're in the same column. You could not, however, put a 4 here and the 1 over here. It has to be in the same column as the one that it came from, if you're going to use 2 dice in the same spot. You do not need, every time you take a top one, so in this case, if you took the 1 right here, you immediately are going to get a coin. If you also took the 4 on this round, because they would both be there, you would get the coin and the star. On later rounds, if you were just going to take the 4, you could cross this off and just take the star and put a 1 somewhere else. So that's okay too. All right, that's how that one works, and how it's going to get you stars for the end of game scoring. The last one, this one seems to be a little trickier just to understand, but bear with me. Say we rolled a 1 and a 4. Well, what you're going to do is you could either take the 1 or the 4, and so you're going to cross off this box. This one goes in stages, and so you cross off the 4 or the 1 right here. Now in this box down here, the other dice that we currently have available is a 4. So you would write a 4, and I can't write a 4 upside down and backward. So you would write a 4 there. You're not actually using the 4 this round. You would need to use the 4 in one of the other 2 areas this round. On a different turn, when we roll a 4 again, you could then use the 4 to cross off this. You would get the pumpkin right here, and you would get the star. So that is how you would get these the stars in that one. So if you guys have any questions about Charterstone or any of them as we go along, just leave in the comments. Michelle will tell me what the question was, and I will try my best to answer it. But other than that, we will just get started. All right. And we have to start with the dice roll. So everybody's ready. Our first dice roll is a 5 and a 3. 5 and a 3. So I just marked right here on mine 5 and a 3. And you probably can't see it so much. It's not a very fine tip marker, but a 5 and a 3. The round is going to end once we have filled in all these spaces. So go ahead now and choose a place to put your 5 and a place to put your 3. And remember, you can't put them in the same box, except for you could do Scythe. Scythe, you could use both of them in that one, and you would be using both dice in that one, so you couldn't use the dice in the other ones. All right, and I'm assuming everyone's still kind of figuring things out, but I'm going to walk through my turn before I roll the dice again. So we'll just kind of take this first turn pretty slow. So I use the 3 up here. I used this particular little right angle, and I turned it and I placed it here. That didn't get me any awards yet. It just filled in a couple boxes. And I used my 5 down here. But by using my 5, I had to put a number 3 where this coin is. So the next time we roll a 3, I'm going to be able to get that coin and the star if I choose to take the 3. All right, so we'll go ahead and roll again. And like I said, if you have any questions, just let us know in the comments. All right, we have 2 2s. Right. And I am ready to go.
I'm not ready.
All right. The next round, we have a 5 and a 1. All right. And if you get behind, it's okay. Just continue to just write down the numbers that we're doing, or you can probably rewind part of this video and just catch back up. But we'll go to the next round. Now we have a 1 and a 6. Okay. 6. All right, everybody good? And we got another 1 and a 6. And the resources, if you don't use them, they are a tiebreaker at the end of the game for any resources not used. But other than that, they don't really get you anything. So it's better to use them. You also can't carry them on to the next round. And so it's better to use them when you can than just let them go to waste. All right. We have doubles. We have 2 4s. All right. I'm just waiting for everyone here to finish up.
I'm using 2 hearts to
Okay.
get that bonus dice.
So if you do use some of you might have enough hearts to spend on stuff. If you ever use hearts to get a bonus dice, make sure that you don't place your bonus dice in a place that you've already placed. So if you've already placed something in Tapestry and Charterstone, that means your bonus dice is going to have to go in Scythe. We got a 1 and a 5. All right. Everyone's still thinking, so. All right, next roll. Now we have a 5 and a 6. 5. Let's see, what else do I want to do? And if you're like me, where you've backed yourself into a corner and you can't use one of your dice, then you just can't use one of your dice. So don't feel too bad. Okay, so now that everybody is certain and ready to move on to the next, I think we have 2 rounds left, two rolls left. A 1 and a 3. Okay. If my count is right, we should have one more, or is this the last round?
This is the last round.
Okay.
Did you miss one on your own?
Yeah, I missed one of them. No, I mean, I just forgot to write it in.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now that should be the last roll. So just go through and count up how many stars that you should get. So like, for instance, I'll show you mine. Tapestry, I've been marking off the stars as I got them, but you can always double check. So I have this roll completed and this one completed, and I have this one completed. So that should be 3 stars. These 2 aren't completed, so they're not going to give me anything extra. This I have 4 stars because I've been marking them off. And this one I have 2. So you're just going to add all your stars together, and you're going to put your total right here.
Can you list out the dice rolls? We tried pausing but lost some time.
Okay. Sure. Michelle probably took better notes than I did. Okay, so the first dice roll was a 5 and a 3. Do you go that way?
Yes.
Okay. The second dice roll was a 2 and a 2. Then a 5 and a 1. Here, I'll show it. And then a 6 and a 1. Another 6 and a 1. A 4 and a 4. A 5 and a 1. A 5 and a 6. And a 1 and a 3. So that is the current dice rolls that we had. So if you're missing any, should probably fill those in.
And then share your score.
And go ahead, once you have your score, just go ahead and share us your scores. If you're playing with a bunch of you, you can just, like, you don't have to write Adam 87 points. A 87. I don't think I'm getting that many points from this one.
I don't think that's actually possible.
But 9 points is possible. So I got 9 points on mine.
7.
Okay. JD gives some thumbs up. Your
Alright.
mom also only had 8 rolls written, so.
I only had 8. I don't know which one I missed. All right. So,
Well, nobody's posted their scores yet, so if you want to give them just because if they were missing some, they're probably adding them in. I got you. Oh, it's
now take note, after you have your star score up, and if you want to put your star score up, at the end of the game, we might end up with ties. And so the tiebreaker, like I said, it's unused resources. And so if you want, you could also make note of your current track of unused resources, and then we'll total those up at the end of the game too if we have any ties.
Alright. Eric has 9. Julian has 8. I don't know if you want to share the scores. They should be able to see them.
Okay. I'll start going on to explaining the next set. We're going to do this column right here. for the next set. And so we'll actually skip between two cities for right now. We'll skip explaining it. I'll explain the other two, and then we'll come back to between two cities. So we'll start with wingspan. What you're going to do is every time we roll a dice, you can write in a number next to these. And so like with this 7, you need 3 dice to, in the end of placing all 3 dice, they have to total 7. In the end of placing all 3 dice in this one, they have to total 12, and in the end of this one, they have to total 16. Something to be aware of here is you have to use 3 dice. And so like with this one, you couldn't have a 6 and a 1 and say I got 7. That doesn't count. You have to have 3 dice equal what this number is. Also, once you place a dice, you immediately take the other resource. So you'll place a dice, say you place a 1 right here, you get a pumpkin. Then the next time you place a coin and it's a 2, you could put it right there and you're going to get a coin. And the next one's a 4 and you get the 4. And once that is finished, you are going to get 2 stars for every one of these you finish. So once you have completed this, if your math is correct, you will get 2 stars for each of those. So that's how you get stars on that one. My Little Scythe is pretty straightforward. Whenever you take a dice, say you take a 1, you can either put a 1 on the pumpkin or 1 on the heart, and you're immediately going to take that resource, the pumpkin or the heart. How you get stars in this one, it's listed right down here. You're going to count up how many pumpkins and how many hearts you have at the end of this particular round. This doesn't count the last round that we played, just this particular round. And it just shows right here. So if you have placed 4 pumpkins, you're going to get 1 star for collecting that many. It also counts the ones that you've used. And so it's not just the ones that you have collected and not used. You're going to get this bonus for ones that you've collected and the ones that you've collected and used, just as long as you've gotten them sometime during this round. Now, we're going to come to between two cities. Between two cities, how it gets stars is based on the lowest score of stars you get from the other ones. So if you spend a lot of time trying to get wingspan up really well and you get 6 stars on wingspan, but you don't put any stars in My Little Scythe, then you're going to end with between two cities with 0 stars, because it will get whatever your lowest scoring other one is. But if you were to get 3 stars in My Little Scythe and 3 stars in wingspan, between two cities would also get 3 stars because the lowest is 3 stars. That's how that one works. How the bonuses work in this one is as you put in dice numbers, say you put in a 1 right here, you can't put another 1 adjacent to it, but you could put like a 3. I think I can draw 3 upside down. So you could put a 3 right there, and then later you could put I don't know what else I can draw upside down. Oh, you could put a 1 there, and I can do that upside down because the 1s are no longer adjacent. Once a row is completed, you're going to gain that bonus. When a column is when a row and a column, whichever one is completed, you're going to gain those bonuses, and you just mark them down there. That is the basic of how this next round is going to play out. I don't know if any of them allow you to place more than 1 dice.
They do not.
Okay, so these ones, none of them will allow you to place more than 1 dice per round. So all of them will be 1 dice per round can be played in them. None of them have special rules to break that. The next round will. All of them. Okay. All right, the first dice roll is 2 6s. Right. Give a little bit of time because I assume everyone's still kind of reading through them.
You could also mention like the bonus or the stars in My Little Scythe. You get that bonus regardless of if you use it.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I did.
Okay, I'm not sure. I didn't.
Yep. Yeah, so you are allowed to use your hearts, and then with My Little Scythe, you're still going to count up the hearts that you've used. I think I had talked about that, but if I didn't, this was just in case. All right. Oh, I should probably mark that I used that one. So that was 2 6s was the first roll. Okay, second roll is a 6 and a 3. All right. Pretty good. Okay. Next roll. Ooh, double 4s. So again, when I'm going to point out the resources in case anybody has 2 hearts right now, you could spend 2 of your hearts and essentially use 3 4s this round. You could use a 4 in every one of your places if you choose to. All right. Everybody ready? All right. Another 6 and 4. I'll take this one. Okay. Okay. Next one. All right. We have a 1 and a 2. Okay. Everybody good?
This one seems easier to make decisions on.
What?
This
Yeah.
one seems easier to make decisions on.
A 5 and a 1.
Joey Johnson,
And yep, and a 1. Okay. And anybody who joined us, we're live streaming a roll and write game right below our post. I think Michelle has the link to the game that you can print out and you can follow along with us and you can play. You might want to rewind the thing from the beginning and we'll kind of explain how to play it, but that's what we're doing. And we hope to kind of do this a little bit more often throughout the week, every now and then with different games. So this is our first experiment to see how this one works out. Everybody good? All right. Okay, next. Ooh, we have double 3s. right. If my count is right, we should have 2 more rolls.
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't lose count this time.
3.
All right, everybody. Looks like Jane lost count.
What?
All right. Next roll is a 1 and a 6. 6. And a 6. All right.
Fingers crossed.
Last roll. All right, we have a 6 and a 3. So this will be the last roll. And once you are done, go ahead and total up your stars. And then tell us your score. Don't forget that Between Two Cities is going to get the lowest. The amount of stars you're going to get from that is the lowest amount of stars that you have from all of your other one, whichever one has the lowest amount of stars. And at least we played the other time. If you needed to spend multiple pumpkins to change the number, you could. I'm not sure if that's the actual rule, but that's what we played it as. Let's see. Oh, okay.
I will be in just a moment.
Can get one. Okay. So go ahead. I just finished mine. So go ahead and total up your scores of whatever you have.
This is a good round for me.
8 here, so that's gonna get me 2, and I have 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 there, so that'll give me another 2. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'll just walk through mine. I think everyone else is figuring this out. But so I had completed
Jamie
these
wants to know
2.
if you can recap each realm in the second column, just to be sure that they've got it going.
Each realm in the second column?
Yep.
Sure. So I'll kind of walk through mine. So we'll start down here. So for my little scythe, I had gotten what looks like 4 hearts from my little scythe, 3 pumpkins from my little scythe. They got marked down here. And then for totaling up the points, I have a total of 8 pumpkins. So that puts me at the second bracket. So I'm going to get 2 stars for my pumpkins. And then I have a total of 7 hearts. And so that's going to get me the second bracket for the hearts as well. So I'm going to get 2 hearts for that. So my little scythe total, I'm going to have 4 stars. Wingspan, I completed these 2
12 stars out.
other ones. I have, yes, I have 12 stars. So I completed this one with the right numbers, so that got me 2 stars. And I completed this one with the right numbers added together, so that gets me another 2 stars. This one did not get completed, so it's not going to give me those extra stars, but it will give me, I did get the pumpkin and the coin down here from doing that. With Between Two Cities, I had gotten a row or a column here finished, so I got 2 pumpkins, and I got a row here finished, and so I got a heart and a pumpkin. And the star points from this one is just whatever my lowest scoring one is. In this case, both of them I got 4 stars in, so my Between Two Cities is going to get me 4 stars. If I had only gotten 3 stars in, let's say, my little scythe, then I would only be getting 3 stars here in Between Two Cities. So that's the basic sum up of how they work. So there's that one.
Okay. So now we're just waiting for scores.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just anybody who is ready has their stars. You can go ahead and message, comment on here, and we'll see what everyone's scores are. But as you're doing that, I'll start explaining these ones, because I'm guessing there's some sort of video lag kind of going on. So you guys will probably hear this about a minute after I've kind of already said it. So I'll start explaining. So the third row, these ones are all a little bit special. All of them look like they're going to allow us to use 2 dice, depending on how we use them. So let's start with viticulture here right on the bottom. When we roll the dice, you can either take a single dice and take the wine glass, or these little wine glasses on the side, and they're going to just get you coins. So if you take a 1 dice and put it here in the 1, you're going to get 1 coin. You know, same with down here. If you take just a 6, you're just going to get 1 coin. And you just check them off as you fill them, so that way you can't reuse them. Now, with this one, for getting the star points, you have to take the sum of the dice. So you'll be adding the dice together. And so, like in this case down here, we have a 6 and a 3. So then we're going to have 9. So we could use both dice here and cross off the 9 to get the 1 star point. So that's how you're going to get stars. And this one is by using both dice, and you have to add their sums together to be able to go in there. And as we play, again, just let us know any questions you might have. We'll try to answer them as best we can. All right, between 2 castles, this we're going to be building a castle. So you're going to be building from the bottom up. You can't build higher than that just yet. What you're going to do is, once you have filled a row horizontally, you're going to get 1 star point. Whenever you fill a row vertically, you get whatever the bonus shows. So either a pumpkin or a coin. And in this case, it looks like you can use 1 or 2 dice per castle to fill squares from the bottom.
1 dice per castle.
1 per castle. Yeah.
So you can't put
So you
them
could use 2 dice in this case, but you would have to use 1 dice in the coin castle and 1 dice in the pumpkin castle. You couldn't use them both in the same castle. But the door is a free space, and so once you have filled up both sections, that would be the first row, and then you can build on top of that. The rule about building on top on here is that the number you're going to put above the dice has to be of lower value than the one on the bottom. So if you have a 6 on the bottom, well, you could put a 5 above it, you could put a 2 above it, doesn't really matter. But if you start by putting a 1 on the bottom, well, you can never build that next layer up because nothing is going to be lower than a 1. So that's how Between 2 Castles works. Euphoria, how that one works is, say you take a number 1 dice and you fill it in here in the number 1 spot. Here, I'll just mark it. So you fill it in here in the number 1 spot. So you took a number 1. All right, now you're immediately going to get a pumpkin because it says you filled it in the pumpkin spot. So you check off that you get a pumpkin. And you're also going to add the entire sum of all the dice that you've checked off so far. So 1 plus no other dice is 1. So this is your other bonus you're going to get. You're going to get you can either choose to get a coin or another pumpkin. Once it gets to 4 through 8, you're going to get whatever this is, and that's how you're going to get stars. And you're only adding the total of what's in the pumpkin column or what's in the coin column. And so if you place it over here on the 1, you're not adding 1 plus 1 because these are 2 different sides. It's just be 1 plus nothing else, so that would be this coin plus another coin or pumpkin. When you fill in later this one, you'd be adding the 1 plus the 4. And so in this case, you would be getting a coin for putting in the 4, and you would also be getting a star for being at 5 total for this particular area. So you really have to think pretty far ahead for this one as to how you're placing. If you start with a 6, well, you're not going to be getting very many coins on this row. Or probably only tops 2 coins in that row. So that is how Euphoria works. And that is all 3 sections. Euphoria does allow you to use 2 identical dice at the same time one per area. So it's just like between 2 castles, where they have to go in. You can't put both dice in one, obviously, because it would be you can only use this ability if you roll a double. And so you could put a 1 and a 1 on this side at the same time. So that's how you can use both of these. So all of these allow us to use both dice in their section on the same turn. So just to be wary of that. All right. Everybody ready? Okay, we have a 6, and a 4. So, all right. So hopefully everybody's close to ready. Again, that one was a 6 and a 4. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and roll the next set. All right, we have doubles. We have 2 2s. All right, let's see.
Or did you get some one?
Okay. Everybody ready here?
Yeah.
I think so. Okay. All right. A 6 and a 3.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
Right.
Hold on, I'm not ready. I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm not ready.
Everybody sounds ready on this side.
I'm ready.
All right, we have a 4 and a 3. Okay. Everybody ready? Okay. Now we have a, looks like another 4 and a 3. Okay. Oh, wait. I was going to use that. Okay. Next round, next roll, I should say. A 4 and a 5. Just realizing I'm not getting a lot of hearts this turn.
I haven't gotten any.
No, because it's all about money and other things. All right. Oops, that was a 5 and 4. We should have 3 rolls left, I think.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we have a 1 and a 6. Okay. Oops, 1 and 6.
Don't forget to write it down.
Right, 2 rolls left. Should be
Yes.
a 1 and a 2 for anybody who wants that.
I do. I'll take it.
Another queen. I really wish I could get hearts. 'Cause I'm wanting to place more dice than I actually have. All right, only 1 roll left. And this will finish it off, and then we'll see.
Wait, no. I'm not ready. But
I know. Okay, here we go. A 1 and a 5. 1 and a 5. It can be an extra dice. It's pumpkins that do the other thing.
No, I'm saying
I know what you're saying.
this.
All right. Another pumpkin.
No. Yuck. Okay, no. Jane, can you take that out to the kitchen, please?
All right.
And then wash
Oh,
it off.
I'm not done.
Well, that was the last roll. All right, so everyone can just total up their score.
I'm saying this plus the 5 to equal.
Oh, yes. Yes.
No, Griffin, can you get a wash off your butter, please?
All right, so 1 and a 5. So go ahead and total your score, and you can just give us your grand total now between all of them, and we'll see who won this round.
This is a good round for me.
God.
Oh, please. He's getting chocolate on me. Okay. Put it down for a minute. Okay. No more purple hands.
All right, my total was 33.
Ooh. At 32. So just ask them to put them in the comments.
So go ahead and put in your comments your grand total. That's going to be your total between all 3 rounds, and we will see who won. Michelle will put in ours too, and we'll see who won. And yeah, we'll see in a little bit. So we're hoping to do this every so often. This one was a pretty easy one. I know Jamie Stegmeyer has this on his own site, and he's been playing it with different people. And he's the one who put this up to be able to play on, and he's been doing these live events, so we thought we would try it too. So we figured we would do it with this one. We have another roll and write game that I think would work for this same kind of format. And we also hope to possibly play some
30,
Similo
3.
at some point, and that one will need more comments back from everyone else to actually play. But we'll try out some of these different games, smaller games. This will probably be the most advanced one we'll sort of do. Other than that, we do hope to have some live streams on our actual website. Those would just be us playing through possibly like Pandemic or a few of our other games. You guys could just see kind of how we play through them, or join with us on that case as well. But otherwise, thank you for joining with us and playing Rolling Realms with us. So
Looks like Julene had 29 and Eric had 29 also. So between the two of them, Julene won because she had more unused resources.
nice.
So I don't know if they can actually hear me when I talk.
I can see that.
True.
So, all right. Well, talk to you all later.